Good evening. I would like to call our regular business meeting to order, and I'd like to ask our treasurer to call the roll.
President Baker.
Present.
Mr. Brown.
Here.
Vice President Cole.
Present.
Ms. Gibbs.
Yes.
Ms. Hudson.
Yes.
Mr. Peretti.
Here.
Ms. Reyes.
Yes.
You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. Treasurer. I would like to now invite Principal Johnson to the lectern, and please bring those students with you and introduce them or have each one say his or her name, and then they are going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Come on up, students. Stand with your principal. And thank you for hosting us this evening, Principal Johnson.
Good evening, Mr. Baker, President Baker, members of the board, Dr. Good. We're certainly glad to have you here this evening. And we have several members of our school that are here tonight. They were actually here for their STEM club meeting. And so I'll be glad for them to introduce themselves at this time.
Hello, my name is Daniel Ordrin. I'm a junior here at Northland High School.
Hello, my name is Gloria Wang, and I'm a junior here at Northland High School.
Hello, my name is Nasir Broadnax. I'm a freshman at Northland High School.
Hello, I'm Joshua Bonsu. I'm a junior at Northland High School.
Hello, I'm Jesse Pruitt. I'm a sophomore at Northland High School.
Hello, my name is Shakia Jackson, and I am a junior here at Northland High School.
Hi, I'm Kirby Wheeler Hall. I'm a junior at Northland High School.
Hi, my name is Zion Burgess, and I'm a sophomore at Northland High School.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, students. Thank you. Thank you, Principal Johnson. Thank you, students. All right, at this time, I'd like to briefly read through our agenda so we all know the work before us this evening. After the board adopts the agenda, we will take public comment if we have anyone who has signed up to provide that. After that, we will hear actually, we will not hear a report from the superintendent or treasurer this evening. This first meeting actually is going to be rather briefer than usual because we have a special meeting right after this meeting. So we will then take up our consent agenda, after which we will hear announcements briefly from board members. We will then adjourn this meeting, and then the special meeting will begin immediately following this meeting. So having said that, the chair will now entertain a motion that we approve this agenda as it has been presented.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Treasurer?
President Baker.
Yes.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Vice President Cole.
Yes.
Ms. Gibbs.
Yes.
Ms. Hudson.
Yes.
Mr. Peretti.
Yes.
Ms. Reyes.
Yes.
That motion carried.
Thank you, Mr. Treasurer. We do not have any speakers as of 10 minutes ago. Has that changed?
No, President Baker.
Thank you very much. So we have no public comment this evening. Now, although we're not hearing from our treasurer this evening, the report is available, and so it will be in board docs for all of you, for anyone actually to view. And we also this evening will not hear from the superintendent or from the internal auditor, as I understand it, at least not yet. But before I continue, one of the things I would like to say is, in light of the successful ballot initiative that the district had on Election Day, I want to thank all of those who in any way supported or campaigned for the levy. We couldn't be happier with the outcome of the election, and it took a lot of people doing a lot of work over a long period of time to get that done. So I want to thank you on behalf of the board, and I want to give the superintendent an opportunity to speak as well.
Thank you. Oh, wow, sorry. Thank you, President Baker, Vice President Cole, members of the board, and certainly I echo those sentiments. I'm very, very pleased that the community saw fit to continue to invest in the successes of the district that truly all hands in Central Ohio have made possible over these past 3 years. We continue to celebrate our expansion of high-quality pre-kindergarten experiences and our reading improvement, which we've sustained now for 3 years running in the 90 percentile ranges. and also the expansion of our career pathways and more students graduating, mentors on hand, just so very many things to celebrate, as well as all of the improvements we've made to our business and operations side in terms of efficiencies and making reductions. So I do believe the vote is a signal that the community trusts their elected governance, the Board of Education, and also the administration and the marvelous faculty and staff that make possible those successes. So we are very, very pleased to be able to continue to invest in those successes. And one of those investments certainly was represented tonight by just a few of the more than 80 members of the United States winningest STEM club in the area of the National Association of Student Black Engineers, and that's Northland STEM Club, which holds that honor, and so very, very pleased. They'll be competing this weekend and then once again in the spring to bring home the trophy once again. We have every confidence they'll do that because of this community's support, so thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much. And let's then move on to our consent agenda. So the chair will now entertain a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Board members, are there any questions on any piece of legislation contained within the consent agenda this evening? Seeing, Ms. Hudson.
Yes, thank you, President Baker. On the revised External Monitoring Committee charter, I have some questions about that and comments, and I'm just wondering if we could pull that off and address some questions offline and then bring it back.
Ms. Hudson, you read my mind, because I did want to give Vice President Cole, who chairs Board External Monitoring, an opportunity to speak very briefly to that. Keep in mind, this is a first reading. Vice President Cole.
Thank you, Mr. President. As the President just stated, it is a first reading this evening. The Board External Monitoring Committee is a committee that was designed some years ago to give the board an opportunity to think outside of itself by getting insight and outsight from community members. So this group is comprised of individuals from the community who specialize in any number of backgrounds. They have the opportunity to take a look at us as a board and from a qualitative and quantitative perspective evaluate our work on a per meeting basis and offer some feedback and insight into those processes and how we think a little more differently about our work. This is certainly in alignment with our intent and integrity in being accountable to the community. This is something that I treasure a great deal. I think we've gotten off to a great start. It's a very robust charter that spells out the scope of our work, that spells out in a way that doesn't also usurp our authority. It does not. I want to be clear about this committee and this charter. It does not usurp our board authority as imparted by the Ohio Revised Code or our board policy. It falls directly in alignment with our vision. It falls in directly in alignment with our goals as a board. So I'm very proud to present this first reading.
Thank you, Vice President Cole. And this being a first reading, Ms. Hudson, does that satisfy your request? We will have ample time, obviously, to discuss it between now and the next meeting. Yes, Ms. Hudson's follow-up.
I would still ask if we pull it, and because there are a number of issues, and I'd prefer to talk about it first with Vice President Cole and other board members. So I would just ask we table it, given the gravity of the other issues we're going to address tonight.
All right. Have you offered a motion, Board Member Hudson?
I would move to remove 7.2 from the agenda at this time for further consideration.
Moved and seconded. Board Member Brown, did you have another point you wanted to make briefly?
I was going to make precisely the same point that Ms. Hudson did. I agree with her, and I plan to follow up and talk with Mr. Cole and work on this a bit more before it's brought back.
Very good. Are there any other comments on this specific piece of legislation, 7.2?
I think it's, let's
Mr.
make sure I've
Treasurer.
got this right. I believe it's 8.2. Is it 8 point? Is it
7.2 on my board.
7.2 on yours? Okay. Must have been changed. That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We do have a motion before us. Mr. Treasurer?
Can you restate the motion?
The motion is to remove item 7.2 from tonight's agenda.
Very good. Carry on.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Vice President Cole?
No.
Ms. Gibbs?
No.
Ms. Hudson?
Yes.
Mr. Peretti?
No.
Ms. Reyes?
No.
And President Baker?
No.
That motion failed.
Very well then. Any other items of interest in the consent agenda, board members? Any other questions? Ms. Gibbs?
Just want to call out, I'm very happy to support the partnership with City Year Columbus and the continual supports that that organization provides to our school district, to all of our kids. And I believe I saw the executive director, Tasha Booker, who is an alum of Columbus City Schools. So very glad that they will be continuing their work, and very glad that we have those people who are changing the world. So thank you, Dr. Good, and all those involved, and I'm sure bringing this to fruition.
Thank you. An outstanding partnership indeed. Mr. Peretti?
I just wanted to say thank you to the Trittman family for the donation to Clinton Elementary School of the baby grand piano valued at $16,000. My mother would be very upset if I didn't say thank you. So I just wanted to make sure that we always say thank you. Thank you.
Well done, Mr. Peretti. Thank you. Any other points related to the consent agenda this evening, board members? Hearing none. Mr. Treasurer?
Vice President Cole?
Yes.
Ms. Gibbs?
Yes.
Ms. Hudson?
Yes, although I abstain from 9.3 and I vote no on 7.2.
Mr. Peretti?
Yes.
Ms. Reyes?
Yes.
President Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
And I vote no as to 7.2.
That motion carried, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. Treasurer. Mr. Superintendent?
Thank you, President Baker, Vice President Cole, members of the board. We have three administrative assignments to announce this evening. And the first is Kyla Mitchell, who currently serves as the middle school assistant principal at Woodward Park. And where? Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's wrong on your agenda. But she will be moving to interim middle school principal at Berwick K-8, and Kyla's here with her husband and with her mother. So if the three of them could stand, you could figure out who's each. That is your husband, isn't it? Okay, good. So the second, and you're probably thinking, well, she's going to Berwick. Who's leaving Berwick? Well, we were so honored to find that one of our successful middle school principals also has a background and interest in managing auxiliary funds that flow to the non-public schools, and experience in that area as well. I know it was a decision that was not made lightly, but we're so pleased, Natalie, that we'll be able to continue to have you in our Columbus City Schools family. Natalie Grayson will be our new supervisor of non-public and auxiliary services. Natalie Grayson. And I know 4 years ago, Victoria and I met. She was the first Columbus City School employee that I met, and we met on it was the third or the fourth floor of a dark building out at Fort Hays, and she had a little suitcase, and in that suitcase was a fingerprint machine. And before I ever became a candidate for the assistant superintendent and then the interim superintendent job, she had to check me out. And she served so aptly in so very many roles in human resources, but had an opportunity to return to a place where she had success and a first love and interest, and was willing to help out our district, moving from Director of Employment and Staffing to Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Victoria Fry. And then, as you know, our last board meeting, I was called away to make a presentation to an area commission, and there was a promotion made, and yet I don't think that promotion was recognized at the end of the meeting. If it was, it's still worth recognizing again. This individual has served in safety and security for a number of years and has always been one of the first respondents anytime we had a need, and certainly, as you will hear tonight, in some of our safety and security circumstances, she's been on the spot there and can articulate the incredible outcomes we have as a result of her and her colleagues' efforts. But it is such an honor to announce that the Supervisor of Safety and Security replacing Robert Collins after his promotion is Crystal Jackson. Crystal. And it's interesting, people say they see me everywhere, but what's interesting is I see Crystal everywhere. So either I'm stalking you or you're stalking me, but it's a pleasure to be in your company, and thank you for your service. That's it, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. All right, congratulations. Now, let's move on to announcements. Do any board members have any brief announcements or points of pride they might like to share this evening? Board members, I've got one I'd like to share. So our very own W. Shauna Gibbs is going to be honored tomorrow morning, actually, 10 a.m. at the Columbus Convention Center in the ballroom. Admission is free. Honored as a member of the All-Ohio School Board of the Ohio School Boards Association. She's one of only 5 members from across the state who are going to receive that recognition. So I would encourage you to attend if you can, and let's all give her a round of applause. And are there any other announcements or anything else for the good of the cause? Seeing nothing, is there a motion then that we adjourn this meeting?
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Treasurer?
Ms. Gibbs?
Yes.
Ms. Hudson?
Yes.
Mr. Peretti?
Yes.
Ms. Reyes?
Yes.
President Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Vice President Cole?
Yes.
That motion carried.
Thank you. We stand adjourned.